Manoj Bajpayee joins me now. Manoj Bajpayee, an actor, of course, who worked with Sushant Singh Rajput in the movie Sonchiriya, also shared another aspect. They're both outsiders. He came from Bihar. Sushant also came from Bihar. Manoj Bajpayee, what would you say today? Of course, my condolences for your personal loss to an actor you knew well and had a lot in common with as well. Both of you boys who came from Bihar as outsiders into the Mumbai film industry.
First of all, I really offer my condolences to his family, who is very close ones. It's a huge loss for them, and that too for a young child who was doing so well, who was at the peak of his game. And for us, yes, I mean for all the colleagues, co-actors, co-workers, people who knew him so closely, it to say that it came as a shock would be an understatement. I mean, till now, just before your interview started, we've been talking. I was receiving calls from people. Suddenly everybody is feeling a little, apprehensive about each other. As to how they are doing, because we never knew that Sushant, our dear friend, dear co-actor, colleague, could just go ahead and vanish in the air just like that. We decided to do just that, and without us, it kind of caught us completely by but not only by surprise, but also wanting. It's a, I don't know how to express myself. I'm falling short of my words. How to express what we are feeling right now. Yeah,
I know, and of course, Manoj, Sushant and you worked together in the movie Sonchiriya. Sushant has said that was one of the movies which were his favorites, even though it wasn't such a big commercial, but a huge critical success. What would you say? I mean, of course, you shared in common that both of you came from Bihar, outsiders to the Mumbai film industry. Both of you had struggles. What would you say today to young actors who are shocked by Sushant's death and who've come also as outsiders with big dreams to Mumbai and to the film industry?
I'll come to this, to the industry, part later on. I would, address this to each and every young ones who are living there, small towns, villages, just to chase the dreams, the big dreams that they have for themselves. And why not? They should have it. They should have big dreams. They are completely entitled to have it, and they are entitled to chase those dreams. It's fair enough. But they should also understand that it's coming to a big city. Big city demands a lot from you. It questions you. It questions your integrity. It questions you on every step. Not only that, no matter how talented you are, no matter how much ability you have, big city is very biased that way. You have to, each and everyone who is willing to start out on a long journey, they should understand it's a biased world. They are very bad. They are not fair. This world is not fair. Just keep it in your pocket. Then you start on your journey. And you have to tell yourself that no matter how much this world is not fair, how much they are not going to give it to me what I deserve, I'm going to keep knocking that door till the door knocks down, till the door tumbles down. Yeah, and that goes for all the actors who are willing to be part of this big bad world, this glamorous world that they call it. Though I don't find anything glamorous about it. This is just one of the many jobs which are there in the world. This is you have to understand that, like the world, this industry is also not fair. First of all, you have to understand, and and then keep knocking till the door breaks. That should be the attitude. That should be the mentality. That should be the mental, resolve inside you.
Right. In fact, when you say that the world is not fair, the city is not fair, did you ever find yourself actually in your own experience? Because again, we saw that you had huge commercial success, then as like every actor, then you had kind of down, then you moved to the web series. What would you say from your own experience? Even for Sushant Singh, he came in with great reviews, some great hits, but then after that, some flops as well. What's it like when you go from highs to lows? What would you say from your own experience?
First of all, I would not. I would say, Sonia, that I would not like to come to any conclusion as to why this happened and how he thought of ending this journey so abruptly. What made him do that? We really don't know. I have all I remember of Sushant is all happy things. Happy things like him enjoying the mutton that I used to cook on the set. Him enjoying the company and the laughter and the jokes that I used to crack, him coming to me and giving all the respect and asking me all kind of questions. Him coming to me and inviting me to his professional binoculars, which he used to use to gaze at the stars. Him carrying the books on the set on quantum physics. Him trying to develop an app. Okay, so I remember all of these things. I don't want to come to any conclusion as that this was the reason or that was the reason. The reason was in his brain. The brain that nobody could understand, nobody could get into. What I would, my personal experience, I would say that nobody's journey in this industry is smooth, and if you are coming from outside, it's all the more difficult, very difficult.
So it's
very difficult for all, is for all the people who are queuing up outside all the casting directors. In our time, there were no casting director system. So this was all shooting in the dark all the time. The whole lot of anger. I have always been made of a different kind of metal altogether. If somebody shouts at me, my attitude is to shout back. If life is screaming at you, I scream at life. That's my attitude. I don't get into the room and lock the door. That's who I am.
I think I agree with what you said, that nobody knows the reasons behind this tragic death. Everybody's journey is personal and individual. But what we have seen is this huge outrage, because we've seen that every top film producer, every top film director, actors have tweeted their grief at Sushant Singh Rajput's death. But there's also a huge backlash online asking where were these people when perhaps he needed roles? Where were people to reach out to him and say a film had flopped? Do you agree with this online outrage against Bollywood's top names who are today expressing their grief at this young actor's death?
First of all, I would say that, our friend is gone. Let's not mess it up and attack each other. But it's a time for industry to look inward, because this is not the case of somebody who's gone was somebody looking for work. This is here is somebody who was on top of the game, who was doing very well. He was charming, good looking, talented, much more talented than so many who are doing well. And still he decided to finish it so abruptly. So, so suddenly, all of a sudden he's no more there. But it's a time to look inward. It's a time to stop celebrating others' failure and start celebrating the success when their films are successful. This attitude is seriously needs to be corrected if you have it. There are many other things that we need to correct ourselves. We as an industry, we really need to to pamper people, pamper who are around us, pamper especially those who have worked with you, and now they are not part of you. Is very, very important. Instead of bitching about them in their back, instead of criticizing them, mocking them, because they don't suit your requirements and demands. It's there are some very, very valid questions which are coming up.
Absolutely.
That needs to be answered, and that can only be answered if we correct ourselves.
Absolutely important questions that don't turn away when the person's a failure. But you know, Sushant Singh Rajput, again, I think everybody grieving, so shocked at this young talented actor, but we've seen in the recent months television actors dying of suicide in their flats, whether it was over non-payment, whether it was failure, whether it's been models. Why is it the world of glamour, which is meant to Mumbai, a city of dreams, is becoming a nightmare for so many, the people who define themselves as failures, even when they're nothing like that at all?
Yeah, I mean, because their expectation from themselves are too high, I think. But all I would say, I was telling a very dear friend of mine who's a very big actress, who's a very good friend of mine. We were talking, and this is what we were telling each other, that we have to understand that this job is just like any other job. This is we are no special. If your two films are successful and two films bomb, it doesn't change you, it doesn't define you. And this is where the responsibility lies on the hardcore production houses, the trade analysts, the critics, the industry people, everyone. These are just the films which bombed. These are just the films which have been successful. So instead of defining the actor, defining the person just on the basis of their success and failure, that should stop. That should stop. That toxic writing, toxic way of looking at your colleagues and your actors and your workers, that should stop immediately.
Absolutely. Manoj Bajpayee, end the toxicity, look at the person and his value. That's really the important message. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Left, Right and Centre. That's it on the show tonight. We'll have lots more ahead with all the latest news coming up in just a few minutes.